Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is Kyle here from SpeedBets, bringing you guys the UFC 313 full card breakdown and predictions and the best bets. We got it all. Guys, this card right here is insane. Look on the screen right now. We have Alex Pereira, Magomed Ankalaev. You've been with the channel for any period of time, any amount of time at all. You know that I hate Alex Pereira. You know that I hate Magomed Ankalaev. Look in the background. You know what type of timing we're on around here. Look forward to that breakdown. I'm going to be going super in depth. I feel like I have a good grasp on this light heavyweight division. I pay a lot of attention to this division. I'm a huge fucking Yuri fan. I know this division. I know this division pretty well. If you guys remember my Khalil Roundtree versus Alex Pereira prediction, I gave you guys a hammer play on the over 2.5. I gave you guys fight starts round 3, fight starts round 4, and Alex Pereira late round TKO/decision. Look at that. Called it to a T. I even said Khalil was possibly going to win rounds in the start because he slows the pace. That's his style. I've studied Magomed's style. I've watched pretty much all of his fights today. I've watched all of Pereira's fights. I know these guys, man. Well, let's get into this. It's coming at the end. Don't you worry. Let's get into this card. Now, opening up the card, we have a freshly added event here. Chris Gutierrez taking on John Castaneda. Castaneda obviously was supposed to take on Douglas Silva de Andrade last week. Douglas Silva had some weight cutting issues. I mean, the guy's 40. It cannot be healthy to be cutting weight when you're 40. That's how it is. He guy probably needs to retire. John Castaneda, you know he had a training camp. Not exactly the same style. Douglas Silva's more heavy hands. Chris Gutierrez, a lot of kicks, a lot of playing the range game. But one thing I do like is John Castaneda's grappling in this fight. Chris Gutierrez, like I just said, he's going to rip the legs. Very, very nice leg kicks. He does that well. He kind of stays on the outside, tries to kind of keep that range. Does not like when you get in close. He's been Russell-fucked before. He'll get Russell-fucked again. He was supposed to fight Javid Basharat. That was going to be a free Basharat win. When he fought Song Yadong, we were all over Song Yadong in that fight just because of the rustling. Then when he fought Quang Lee on short notice, again, breaking down the tape, knowing the fighters, Quang Lee had a takedown line of his .5 takedowns. It was like plus 280 for the over half a takedown for Quang Lee. I gave that out in the Discord. I sent that out to everyone. We hammered that. That was the freest bet I've ever seen. Quang Lee took him down a few times. Chris Gutierrez cannot stop a takedown. John Castaneda does work in takedowns. Problem with John Castaneda is I don't know if this guy has the best chin. He always kind of seems to get outdone by technical fighters. Chris Gutierrez is technical. And Chris Gutierrez was supposed to be on this card. His original opponent was Gene Matsumoto. Great fight, and then Matsumoto stepped in to fight Font. He got robbed against Font. It is what it is. Chris Gutierrez, at first glance, I was thinking if this guy's a big underdog, I'm going to hit him. Because I think he is technical enough to keep this fight competitive like a Daniel Marcos was. But then I remember Daniel Marcos actually has a little bit of pop. He had Castaneda wobbled. I think he even dropped Castaneda at one point. I mean, Castaneda was almost out of there. Chris Gutierrez is never that dangerous. This guy has no urgency when he's in the cage. He does not push for the finish. He's not going to get a finish. I don't think he can really hurt John Castaneda. For the official picking me, John Castaneda by decision. I think he's going to mix in the rustling. He's going to have a lot of success. He's going to keep the striking going. He might struggle a little bit in the first round. But when it gets to the second and the third, I think it's Castaneda all day. Give me John Castaneda by a 29-28 decision. Next fight up, Jordan Santos taking on Ozzy Diaz. Ozzy Diaz, this guy lives by the sword or he dies by the sword. This guy has never seen the cards in his professional career, win or lose. Jordan Santos, on the other hand, this guy kind of lives by the cards. I mean, he has more submissions and he has more finishes than he does decisions. It's pretty rare, in my opinion, that you see a guy with like a 10-1 record that he has coming into the UFC with like 4 decisions on the regional scene. He's not even fighting good regional opponents. On the Contender Series, he fought Will Curry as a big underdog. Now, I'm not too certain really why he was that big of an underdog. I think it was just kind of, like I said, the level of competition. He wasn't proven at all. Curry was fighting better fighters. Curry came in with a grappling heavy game plan and Santos kind of boxed him up. Now, I don't know that he's going to be able to do that same thing to Ozzy Diaz. Ozzy Diaz, this guy, to all of his faults, this guy swings hard. He swings hard, he lands hard. I don't know if Jordan Santos has the power to put this guy out. I don't think Santos has the power to put Ozzy Diaz out. This guy gets his best work done kind of in the all-around game. He's a very well-rounded fighter, but I don't think he's great anywhere. Whereas Ozzy Diaz, I know this guy is good in the striking. He doesn't have a good chin, which makes it kind of seem like he doesn't have great striking. But his striking is decent. He was tagging up Zhang Mingyang a little bit. it wasn't really doing anything. Zhang Minyang's a tank, and he just hits like a freight train. That was a setup fight for Ozzy Diaz. We absolutely obliterated the Zhang Minyang line in the Discord. That was disgusting. But this is also another super random thing, but way back in the regional on the amateur days, Ozzy Diaz was subbed up by Dom Reyes over 10 years ago now. But I love seeing stuff like that, man. It kind of brings it full circle. Dom Reyes, before the prime of his career, a 24-year-old Ozzy Diaz stepping in the cage together, you can't help but get excited thinking about that in the past. But I'm kind of just dragging this one out. I'm struggling to make a pick on this fight. I think Ozzy Diaz has the potential to finish this fight, but I think Santos is going to be the more well-rounded fighter. He's going to push him to the cage. He's going to kind of beat him down on the side of the cage. And I think he's going to win a decision, probably 29-28, very, very close. I put a bet out on Jordan Santos. I got him at minus 120. He's currently around minus 200, and I still don't even like that bet. I have a lot of buyer's remorse on that one, but I did throw a unit on him at minus 120. I might just hedge myself out on Ozzy Diaz. Now I can get him like plus 150 just to get some profit going. But I think Jordan Santos can get it done, but I am not as confident as I was when I first saw this fight. We have Myron Santos, the Ultimate Fighter winner, taking on Francis Marshall. Now this one right here, I think the line is crazy. I do not think Myron Santos is worth the minus 380 that I'm seeing right now. I think that's absurd. I do not think you should be betting Myron Santos that price. I don't think you should be parlaying Myron Santos. Maybe you take a shot in his knockout, but I really don't even think that's too live here. I think this fight right here is going to decision. It's just a matter of who wins when it goes to decision. I think Myron Santos, he has to stuff the takedowns early. He has to stuff them often. Francis Marshall's going to be shooting like a madman. That's what he has to do to win this fight. He's going to get outdone by the better wrestlers in the world, like the Isaac Dalgarians. He's going to lose to the more technical guys, like William Gomi. Split decision, albeit he had Gomi in danger. I know we didn't forget about that. If you remember late in that third round, Francis Marshall had a William Gomi on the mat, had his arm under the chin, had him belly down with a rear naked choke attempt. He just could not get it done. Unfortunately, I thought that was going to be the demise of William Gomi. In the heat of the moment, I was cheering for Francis Marshall. But Myron Santos, this guy is a well-rounded striker. We just saw in his last fight against Conor Olfe, he can stuff some takedowns. He does have power. I don't think Francis Marshall is going to go away like Conor Olfe is. I think Francis Marshall is a lot more resilient than Conor Olfe. He's not going to go down to the same punches, although it was a great knockout. I'm not taking that away from Santos. I just think Francis is going to be a little bit more aggressive here. He still had energy in the third against Gomi, and I think he's going to carry that energy here. I'm going to take Myron Santos to win because I do think that he can stuff the takedowns. But I'm letting you guys know this fight is way, way closer than the lines are suggesting. I don't think Francis Marshall's a bad bet. I think if you just want to take this fight to go the distance, that's a good bet. But yeah, give me Myron Santos by a pretty underwhelming decision. Coming off his last fight with a very big knockout, he has a lot of hype. That's the reason his line is almost pushing 400 right now. And I don't think he's going to deliver to that value, but I still think he's going to win the fight. All right, now I'm going to get some people mad when I break down this fight. Carlos Leal should be no more than a minus 150 favorite in this fight. He is minus 800 currently, and that line is so far wrong, it's actually incredible. Am I taking Carlos Leal to win this fight? Probably. Is he going to look minus 800? If you have him in a parlay at minus 800, it's round 3, it's 1-1. Going into the third, they're both gassed out. It's really just who wants it more, and neither of them want it. You're going to be sweating a little bit, and you're going to wish you didn't have that minus 800 as the last leg on your parlay to turn $10 into $19, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Alex Morono is a good fighter. He has all of the skills. Skill for skill, I'd say Morono is a better fighter. It just so happens sometimes Alex Morono doesn't give a fuck about winning. Alex Morono has kind of a funky style. He's got like weird kicks. He has phenomenal jiu-jitsu. Great kind of work on the ground. He tends to play off his back a little bit, which isn't good. I don't think Carlos Leal is going to be shooting on him, really. I think Morono should be shooting on Carlos Leal, but I can't trust him to do that, really. I think this is going to be a sloppy striking fight. And it should be said, Morono took this fight with a full, official notice. This wasn't a short notice fight put together. This isn't Alex Morono stepping in. Alex Morono has a full camp to prepare for this opponent. There is a lot of tape out there on this opponent. He's not some other aged guy where Morono's just going to like not try for some reason. Morono should be motivated to win this fight. And Carlos Leal, he was on the juice against Renat. He took the fight on like a couple days' notice. We saw this before. Guys, this is going to be a repeat of fight. We've seen this fight before. You know what I'm talking about. When Jack Della Maddalena took on the juicer, Basil Hafez, super short notice, double weight cut for Jack. Now, it wasn't a double weight cut for Morono, but it's going to be the same thing. Carlos Leal took Renat Fakhretdinov, a good established fighter just outside the rankings, took him to a very close decision. Some thought he won that. A lot of people said JDM lost to Basil Hafez, even though he was literally 1080ing the shit out of him on the feet, and then he just pulled guillotine for shits and giggles. JDM didn't lose that fight, first of all. Yeah, obviously they gave him the win, but people that are saying that he lost, you're wrong. And then we had Carlos Leal went kind of to war with Renat Fakhretdinov. I'm more open to the fact that Carlos Leal winning that fight. I thought he did. I thought he won. I had money on Renat. I'm not going to pretend like I wasn't relieved when I heard the Renat call. But then I saw the judge's name was like Muhammad Hussein Ali or something. Like, I mean, come on. And that guy had his scorecard written before the fight even started. But Carlos Leal, I mean, you see the back acne, the physique this guy was carrying into the cage. He was not natural. Neither was Basil Hafez. These guys are both juice bags. These guys are a couple of juice boxes. And then look what happened. Basil Hafez, huge favorite over Mickey Gall in his next fight. He goes to war with Mickey Gall. Very competitive fight with Mickey Gall, might I say. Just an ultra competitive fight, and then he goes on to get knocked out in his next fight against Oban Elliott, who Oban Elliott, by the way, is not knocking people out on the regular. I mean, Oban Elliott's like a decision guy through and through, and he slept the shit out of Basil. It flatlined him. I think Carlos Leal is going to have the same thing. You get in the UFC, you can't stick yourself with needles every day. You're getting tested on the regular. And guess what? I don't think he's going to look great. I think this is going to be a super sloppy fight. I think Alex Morono, like I was saying earlier, he just doesn't care about winning sometimes. I think Carlos Leal is going to win this fight, but it's going to be like 29-28. I don't foresee Carlos Leal getting a finish here. I think Morono's durable enough. He's going to the decision. Guys like D-Rod, Buckley. He got knocked out by Ponzinibbio in the third round. He was winning against Ponzinibbio. But I think Morono is more durable than Leal, which... I think Morono's durable enough to handle the onslaught from Leal. And I mean, Carlos Leal, there's a weird way you can draw comparisons between a guy like Chris Brown that he fought over in the PFL and Morono in their striking style. That kind of weird, funky lead leg type style. But I'm not going to look too much into that. That was a few years ago. He missed weight for that one. Missed weight against Sada Busai. He lost to Sada Busai twice, which is crazy. I mean, really, we're losing to Sada Busai not once, but twice? Yeah, so give me Carlos Leal. Like I said, he's probably going to win this fight, but he should be like a minus 150, a minus 200. He should be nowhere near a minus 800. The best bet for me, I'm taking Alex Morono by like split decision. See what the odds on that. I'm going to look that up right now, actually. There we go. We have Alex Morono by split decision sitting at 20-1. I think that's worth a $5. I'm going to lock that in live right now. It's worth a $5 for me. But a bet I am going to look to be placing is the Alex Morono plus 3.5. If you don't know how that bet works, that means if this fight goes to the scorecards and Alex Morono wins one single round, because that'll bring the scores down. You tally up all three judges' scorecards at the end. You add all the points up for each fighter, and then you take Alex Morono's total and you add 3.5 points. That's the equivalent of winning an extra round. Meaning that if Alex Morono wins one round, you add the 3, they're tied. You add the half, Alex Morono's ahead. Alex Morono has more points, that means your bet wins. Your bet also automatically wins if Morono somehow finds a finish. If he gets like a fluke sub or something. I don't think Leal's ever been... Oh, he has been submitted once. I'm sure that was way back. Yeah, 2014. The guy was like 24 years old. Nope, just kidding. The guy was like 20 years old. 19 maybe. But I don't think that's going to happen. But I do like that bet. I'm going to wait for the line to swell up a little bit. I think a lot of people are playing Leal by knockout, which means that by and large, the minus 3.5 bet is going to climb for Leal. If I can get Morono plus 3.5 around plus 250, plus 300, I'm going to hammer that. It's going to be a full unit play for me. I do like that spot, and I don't think Leal is that good. And we have Bruno Pereira taking on Armin Petrosyan. Now there's some crazy line movement on this fight. I locked in a bet. I sent it out to the Discord. I gave it out to everyone. Armin Petrosian at plus 130. I thought that was a good value, and he's kind of soared to an even bigger favorite. I didn't foresee this happening. I thought the fight would probably go to pick'em. I'd have plus money value on Petrosian because that's my lean on the fight. But Petrosian has swelled up to a minus 150 favorite, which I just don't know if I agree with. I do agree, by and large, Armin Petrosian is the better fighter in this fight. He is the better fighter. Bruno Pereira, he has that one thing. He has the thing that can change a fight. It doesn't matter how good of a fighter you are. If you get hit once by Bruno Pereira's overhand right, you're toast. Now, I don't want to call myself the Bruno Pereira whisperer or anything, but all I'm saying, I've predicted every Bruno Pereira fight correctly. I wasn't making videos for them. I have no way of proving this to you. You don't have to believe me. I gain absolutely nothing from lying about this, by the way. There's no fucking reason in the world for me to lie about this, but I'm going to tell you anyways, okay? I predicted Bruno Pereira to knock out Gregory Rodriguez. That's back in the day. I used to watch like a bunch of videos online. I believe it was Artem MMA. He brought up the point. I went back. That's when I was just starting to kind of get into the UFC, like hardcore wise, starting to watch my own tape. I heard Artem MMA. He brought up the point that Bruno Pereira, this guy swings like a wild man, and Gregory Rodriguez has been cracked before. He can get cracked again. And Bruno Pereira is a big underdog, and I put a little bit. I put like $5 on it. That was like a full unit for me at the time. I wasn't betting serious amounts. And it came through, and I was happy with my $15 profit. And then right after that, I think a lot of people were like super high on Bruno Pereira. And I kind of understood that Bruno Pereira, he was just in a good stylistic matchup. This guy is still a guy that was a 3-1 underdog. So I picked Ruziboyev. What do you know? Ruziboyev catches that kick. I don't even know if it was like he caught the kick. I mean, Bruno Pereira, he kind of threw like a leg kick. And then it was just a straight right down the pipe. He grabbed the leg to make sure he fell, and he was out. Beautiful shot by Ruziboyev. And then, I mean, after that, it was just easy pickings. Phil Hawes, Dustin Stoltzfus, really. I hit the first round knockout prop on both those fights. Good money. Bruno Pereira is always good for a round one knockout or bust. And then against Abus Magomedov, this one is on the channel. This one should be on the channel if I'm remembering correctly. I believe I was doing videos for the time that UFC 308 came along. And I did predict Abus Magomedov to win that fight. We hammered the over 1.5. It was like on the Prize Picks underdog, all that. It was 7.5 fight minutes. We were giving that out on just about every slip. I knew Bruno Pereira wasn't going to get the first round knockout on a guy like Abus. I'm pretty high on him, more high than a lot of people are. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that I don't think Bruno Pereira is going to win this fight. He's a massive reach advantage, but not in the way you're thinking. Not the arms. Petrosian's kind of got some tiny arms, T-Rex arms. But it's the kicks. Petrosian's going to keep him at bay with the kicks. He was beating Shar Magomedov in a technical kickboxing match. And Shar is pretty damn good when it comes to just straight kickboxing. I mean, Shar doesn't know how to box, but he knows how to kick. Petrosian was winning before the infamous double back fist. I don't think that's going to weaken his chin. I think he's still going to be able to take a shot just fine from Bruno Pereira. He's good. He parries. He runs away. Kind of turns his head away. He's rolling with the shots. And I think he's just going to have a lot more technique than Bruno Pereira. What does worry me is that Bruno Pereira has mixed in takedowns before. Now, it's not a lot of takedowns. It's more or less like once. But he's shown that he has that in the bag when times get tough. Armin Petrosian doesn't really stop takedowns. I mean, he's got like a 30% takedown defense. Now, the issue with this fight right here, you can't even kind of look back and be like, who's lost to the worst fighters? I mean, losing to Caio Borralho, Rodolfo Vieira, Shar Magomedov, those are not bad losses. Losing to Abus, Nursultan Ruziboyev, I'm not super high on Ruziboyev, but I mean, just the way it happened, you can't do much about that. I think both these guys have beaten lower-level fighters. They share that win over Gregory Rodriguez. And I think Armin Petrosian's the better fighter. I know he has the worst record in the UFC. He's 3-3 to Bruno Pereira's 3-2. I don't think that matters. Give me Armin Petrosian by a decision. If you're a little weary about that, that's all right. It's totally understandable. Just bet Bruno Pereira first-round knockout plus 600. That's his win condition. Bruno Pereira has 12 professional wins. 7 of them are first-round knockouts. In the UFC, all 3 of his wins are first-round knockouts. He had Abus on skates in the first, and he's more than capable of knocking Armin Petrosian. I don't think Armin Petrosian is this untouchable force. So give me Armin Petrosian by decision. I think he's going to pick apart Bruno Pereira. I don't think he's going to finish him. I think he's the way more technical fighter. Bruno Ferreira brings the danger. You can hedge out if you don't like that bet with a Bruno Ferreira first round knockout. Now we have Josh Van taking on Ray Cerrulla. I'm going to keep this one simple, straightforward. Josh Van is going to run through Ray Cerrulla. What does Ray Cerrulla bring to the table that Josh Van has not seen before? What, he's going to pressure forward, try to rustle him? Ray Cerrulla has decent grappling scrambles. He has decent control. He doesn't have the best takedowns in the world. He has good takedowns. I'm not saying they're bad at all. Cody Durden is a lot more proven. He's taken down a lot better fighters more consistently. He got 2 on Josh Van. And then after that, Josh Van said, I'm not going to do this anymore. He stuffed all the rest and beat the absolute brakes off of him on the feet. Similar story in this fight. Ray Cerrulla is going to wilt. Josh Van, he's going to lay the volume. Josh Van has pillow hands. But with that being said, I'm going to call a Josh Van round 3 TKO over Ray Cerrulla. He's going to be gassed, shooting from distance. Josh Van's going to catch him. He's going to sprawl back. He's going to pop back up to the feet, catch him with a right hook as Ray Cerrulla is coming back in, weathered, trying to get up after failing the double. And then after that, it's going to be some ground and pound. Ray Cerrulla is going to try and roll for something, but he's going to be unconscious. Josh Van's going to get the TKO in the 3rd round. Now we have Curtis Blades taking on Rizvan Kuniev. Now this fight right here, a lot of people have their minds made up. Curtis Blades is the lock of the year. There's no way he's losing. And I don't know. I don't know if I can agree. Curtis Blades, everyone praises him. He's this big rustler. He's the athletic heavyweight. He's going to take you down. He's going to ground and pound you. Razor blades. He's got elbows, tattoo, super shitty tattoo on his elbow. He's going to rain down the razor blades. He's going to stutter in the post fight. Like, first off, look at this guy. This guy doesn't scream pure athlete to me. Albeit he's in better shape than some of these have. I mean, fucking look at Kuniev on the right side. This guy just left Burger King before going to the photo shoot. But Curtis Blades, let's not pretend like this guy is super in shape, like marathon runner Tom Aspinall level shredded. He's not. He never has been, he never will be. Curtis Blades likes to get knocked out, albeit he's losing to high-level competition. Knocked out in the first round against Tom Aspinall. Knocked out in the first round against Sergey Pavlovich. Knocked out in the second round against Derek Lewis. Knocked out in the first round against Francis Ngannou. Now this fight should be easy to break down, dude. Kuniev, he swings wild. He swings crazily. He's not going to catch Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades is going to double leg him. He's going to elbow him on the ground. Dude, Curtis Blades hasn't attempted a takedown in 3.5 years. He doesn't stop breaking this guy down like he's this pressure forward rustler, like he's Preston fucking Parsons. He's not. Curtis Blades doesn't rustle. He goes to this, he plots his way to the center, kind of waddles to the center. He throws crazy strikes. He doesn't have the power to hang with these guys. He doesn't have the chin to hang with these guys. If he steps to the center of the octagon with Rizvan Kuniev, he's going unconscious. Rizvan Kuniev, his striking is a little wild. He throws aggressively. He throws with ill intentions. He's chasing the knockout. He has great clinch work. This guy's knees to the body, his elbows in close. His dirty boxing is good. If Curtis Blades wants to push this guy to the cage, if he gets reversed into the cage, if Rizvan is able to grab that underhook, turn Curtis Blades into the cage, I think Rizvan's going to TKO Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades does not have the striking defense to deal with a guy whose dirty boxing is as good as Rizvan's. Doesn't matter what size gloves you're wearing, elbows don't have pads. If you get hit with an elbow, you're getting cut open. You're going down. Contender Series, we saw at the big knees. If he does shoot, Rizvan can threaten submissions. I don't think this guy is going to be playing jiu-jitsu off his back, but you never know. Over in the PFL, who was it? Denis Goltsov, I believe. I mean, the guy in the championship $1 million fight, he threw up a triangle off his back in heavyweight. Anything's possible. Curtis Blades, I don't trust his fight IQ. This guy went to the center and tried to stand and bang with Pavlovich. What are you doing? Kuniev is a good fighter. Is Curtis Blades a little much? I think so. I mean, his original debut opponent was like Martin Boudet. How you go from Martin Boudet to Curtis Blades, I'm not too sure. But I'm down with it. I think this is a good test. Does Curtis Blades still have it, or is this guy done? Oh, dude, but he knocked out Jalin Almeida, bro. He knocked out Shut up. He got ragdolled by Almeida, and then Almeida gassed himself out because that guy's also autistic. Curtis Blades is not a quality fighter. I don't rate Curtis Blades highly at all. I think he should win this fight. I'm not picking Curtis Blades, but I'm telling you right now, Curtis Blades should win this fight. If he loses this fight, there's serious problems. He needs to reevaluate, consider retirement. I mean, he's 34 years old. That's pretty young for heavyweight, actually. Kuniev's going to be turning 32 like 2 days after the fight. Let's give my guy a birthday dub. He's coming into his 32nd birthday, coming off a knockout win over Curtis Blades in the very first round. Next up, we're bringing the lamb to slaughter. Bobby Green is coming to get sacrificed to Mauricio Rufy. I'm not going to hear it. I'm not going to hear this. Oh, Rufy sucks. He couldn't even finish Lon Top. Bobby Green's going to get him. Bobby Green's not going to do shit. Bobby Green's going to go to the center. Now, one thing I will say, these guys are both kind of a little special. I mean that in a not a good way. These guys are both like emoting all the time. I think in the first round, Rufy's going to like throw a big straight. Bobby Green's going to weave out of the way of it. He's going to do a little dance. Rufy's going to catch him good. He's going to do a little John Silva, like point and smile at him. And they're just going to be like taunting each other for a little bit, but nobody's really going to be doing anything. So the first round's going to be tough to score. And then I think the second round comes and Rufy just absolutely puts him down. I don't think Bobby Green stands a chance. This guy's been knocked out 5 times. Traditionally in the UFC, this guy's a decisionator. He's been to the cards 15 times. Should have been 16. That finish over Tony Ferguson was fake. That shit did not happen. But the last time out, he shot a takedown against Paddy Pimblett. What are you doing? You were winning on the feet, and then you... Whatever, I'm not going to dig too deep into that. Let's talk about Rufy's last performance. This guy is a high-volume, super exciting, very creative striker. He gets compared to McGregor in just the way that he moves, the way that he throws, and you have to see it. You can't not watch this guy fight after hearing that comparison and think about McGregor. I'm not saying he has the same ceiling. I'm not saying he is as good. I'm just saying he moves like McGregor. Now, Rufy, after his last fight, he got hit a lot. He was trying to stunt on top. He was trying to get a flash knockout, a crazy highlight reel. He couldn't get it done. He threw away a finish for a highlight attempt. Just stupid, but... Lon Top came in like... It was a catchweight bout, 165, and Lon Top still missed weight for that. If that fight was at 155, Rufy's putting him out. The cut down's going to be good for him. Bobby Green does not have a chin anymore. He got a fluke win over Grant Dawson. The world thought he was back. And Jalen Turner obliterated him. Jim Miller got his ass kicked by Bobby Green. But every time he landed, Bobby Green was kind of doing the chicken dance. Guy was dancing a little bit. He's doing the jitterbug. Shout out to Lucas Tracy. I don't think King Green here has the chin anymore. I think Rufy's going to put him down. Like I was talking about the emotes, I don't know how long that's going to go on for. I bet we get an emote out of both of them. That's just who they are. So I'm calling first or second round knockout for Mauricio Rufy. Next up, we have 2 little men going at it. Amanda Lemos taking on Yasmin Lucindo. Now right here, I'm seeing a lot of love for Lucindo, and I kind of get it. Her skill set seems there. The age is definitely there. Amanda Lemos is 37 years of age compared to Lucindo's 23. And I'm just going to say this. Lemos can't grapple. Now, last time out, Virna Jandiroba had to fight for the takedown, but she got it. And when she got it, the fight was over. Yasmin Lucindo also went to war against Yasmin Uregui. Yasmin Uregui's not good. I've said that before. I'll say it again. We were talking about her with Ketlin Souza the other card. But she went to war. She ate bombs on the feet. She didn't go down. She didn't back up. She lost the fight, but it was a learning experience. Guess what? Next fight she comes out, grappling. Next fight she comes out, subs Polyana Viana. Yasmin Lucindo has great grappling. You know who Amanda Lemos just got destroyed by? Virna Jandiroba. You know who's a direct training partner of Yasmin Lucindo? Virna Jandiroba. Virna Jandiroba obviously is focusing on her own fight too, but she knows Lemos. She beat Lemos. She crushed Lemos. Didn't give her a chance. Finished her in the second round. Yasmin Lucindo has the tools, has the training partners, has the team knowledge to beat Amanda Lemos. I don't see a world where Lemos flukes this out with a knockout. I just cannot see that happen. Give me Yasmin Lucindo. I'm going to go by decision. A sub is not out of the question, but she hasn't really shown that same prowess that Virna Jandiroba has. I don't think she's going to make as easy work of Amanda Lemos. Probably like a split decision. I bet Lemos cracks her once or twice in the first round, maybe the second. But by the time the third round comes, Lemos is going to be on her back with nothing to offer. Now we have 2 of the tallest 155ers going at it. Jalen Turner taking on Ignacio Bahamondes. Now I've been incredibly high on Bahamondes for a long time. Hammered him against Manuel Torres as an underdog. Give that one out in the Discord. Of course, I'm always giving this shit out, man. We get some crazy line value. If you're into betting these lines when they first come out or kind of like a week before, I'm giving you guys some crazy line move. If I wanted to, I could just sit back and hedge all my stuff. I feel like you have to have a really good understanding of the fight game. You constantly have to be looking forward into the next week's fight card, kind of to try and get your head wrapped around which fights are going to move to which way. And then when the opening lines come out, you bet them. You bet them a week ahead. And then, like I said, we got Armin Petrosian at plus 130. He's sitting at minus 150. We got Jordan Santos minus 120. He's sitting like minus 200 right now. Last week we got Cody Brundage plus 150. He closes the favorite. It's insane, but I do think Bahamondes wins this fight. I think he has more ways to win this fight. Jalen Turner has mixed in more takedowns than Bahamondes. I don't think Bahamondes has ever landed a takedown in the UFC, but this guy's Chilean kickboxing background is insane. The wheel kicks, everything this guy's throwing, it's flashy, but it's technical at the same time. He makes it work. He's very calculated. Jalen Turner's just trying to get you out of there. If Jalen Turner doesn't get you out of there, he's quitting. I mean it when I say it. Jalen Turner wilts. Jalen Turner does not have anywhere near the heart. Jalen Turner is not a dog. Bahamondes has twice the heart, twice the dog, and when the going gets tough, Bahamondes will come out on top. I could see this being very competitive on the feet. Maybe 1-1 going into the third. Maybe it's super tight. Bahamondes pushes Jalen Turner up against the cage. Jalen Turner can't get his back off the cage for a minute. Jalen Turner's done. He's checked out. He's gone. Jalen Turner is typically also getting finished when he loses. I mean, this guy has 4 TKO losses. In the UFC, he has got 2 TKO losses. And then I would also like to say this. He has 2 split decision losses. Those should both be unanimous decisions. Gamrot 30-27'd him. Dan Hooker 29-28'd him. Gamrot won every single round. How that was split, I have no idea. Dan Hooker won the second and the third. Jalen Turner, again, came out hot. But when he kicked Dan Hooker in the head, it landed flush and Dan Hooker was not affected. Jalen Turner realized he's not getting him out of there, and he effectively gave up. He wilted. Against Nat Frivola, he was Russell fucked. Vicente Luque for your debut is a little tough. I do think Bahamondes has more ways to win. He showed a Bravo choke a couple fights ago against Rong Zhu. Rong Zhu, another guy we picked him to beat Cody Steele. I do think Bahamondes gets this one done. I think the third round is going to be crucial to this fight. Whoever wins the third round is probably going to win the fight. I'm not foreseeing a finish, although I don't doubt Bahamondes' power. His counter-striking is elite. I'd say in terms of ground and pound, Jalen Turner has the edge there, but that's kind of the only place I'd really give Jalen Turner the edge. I mean, just going off pure stats, Bahamondes is landing more, he's getting hit less, he has better striking defense, I think better takedown defense. I mean, Jalen Turner is more likely to throw out a guillotine joke, but I don't think Bahamondes is going to be shooting on him. I think Bahamondes is going to whoop him up 29-28 on the feet, getting Bahamondes on the cards. And we got CT Gaethje versus the Midget Fiziev. Last time out, Rafael Fiziev was a massive favorite against Gaethje. This is a rematch. Fiziev was on the come up. Gaethje was supposed to be on the come down, and then Gaethje put on a classic veteran performance. Rafael Fiziev, a known gasser. Gaethje won the second and the third very decisively. I think a 10-8 in the third's a little crazy, but I mean Gaethje beat the shit out of him in the third round. I just think back to that image where Gaethje's punching him so hard you see his snot flying through the air, and it's like just big clumps. Gaethje hits hard. Rafael Fiziev, like I said, he's a known gasser. This guy gasses out. He does not have a good gas tank. When he gets dragged into a dogfight like you do against Justin Gaethje, you're going to gas. You can't keep up unless you're Max Holloway. I think in this fight, Justin Gaethje is going to win again. Rafael Fiziev coming off an injury, hasn't fought in a year and a half. He's going to be ring rusted. I'm done betting on these guys that are coming off injury. People were trying to tell me Rakic was going to beat Yuri coming off an injury. No. People were trying to tell me Jamal Hill's going to beat Pereira coming off an injury. No. I mean, those are just the 2 examples that come to mind. I think there's more. There's the guy that fought Moreno, that Albazi. I fell for that trap. I picked Albazi. People were trying to say Albazi's going to beat Moreno. No. When you're coming off an injury with over a year layoff, you're ring rusted. You're not the same fighter that you once were. And I think that's going to be shown again. Gaethje, I don't care that he got knocked out against Max Holloway. People forget how competitive that fight was. Was it one-way traffic for Max Holloway? Sort of. You can make an argument Gaethje won 2 of the rounds. I think Gaethje won 1 for sure. I don't think he won 2, but I've seen a lot of people making the argument for that. I don't necessarily know if I'd go out of my way to argue against you. I think that's fair. Gaethje's nose got broken in the end of the first round. That changed the tide instantly. If his nose isn't broken, I think Gaethje could have won that fight potentially. Gaethje, in my opinion, is the better fighter. He hits harder. He has better cardio. He's proven in the cardio. And I think Gaethje's just more of a dog. I think he wants it more than Fiziev. Gaethje knows if he wins this fight, he gets a title shot. If he loses this fight, Gaethje might just retire. He's got nothing to lose, everything to gain. Gaethje's back is against the wall for this title shot. He could have sat out against Max Holloway and taken the Makhachev fight. He could have done that. Went to Poirier instead. Gaethje wants a crack at the belt. He's going to get it one more time. Give me Justin Gaethje by a round 3 knockout against Rafael Fiziev. I'm feeling a real late knockout. Not like 1 second late like against Max Holloway. I'm feeling like a late, like last minute. Fiziev knows he's down. He's losing the fight. He's pushing forward. Gaethje kind of counters him. Throws an uppercut in the clinch. He like dips over to the right. Catches him with a hook or something. I think Fiziev's going down. I think he's going down hard. Give me Justin Gaethje round 3 knockout. Now here's the fight that's on everyone's mind. Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. I hate both these fighters. I'm not a poetard. I'm not a Russian inbred. Alex Pereira is going to knock out Magomed Ankalaev. And let me tell you why. Alex Pereira, we all know him. Insane kickboxer. Crazy power. Power like nothing we've ever seen before. If this guy hits you, you go down. Magomed Ankalaev, a very technical striker. He has a little bit of pop, but he doesn't have any quality wins. His knockouts are over guys that don't quite have chins: Anthony Smith, Johnny Walker, Ian Cutelaba. His best, most recent performance was against Rakic, where he went tit for tat in the strikes, and it was a 29-28 with almost identical striking numbers. Rakic is not that good. Yuri Prohashka put Rakic out. Yes, I know Rakic won the first round against Yuri. It doesn't really matter. Yuri came back and put him out. That's how Yuri fights. Magomed Ankalaev is glazed. He's been told that he's this wrestler, the best wrestler in this division, the only wrestler, the best hope to save the division from Pereira. Magomed Ankalaev is not a wrestler, guys. This guy has a 30% takedown accuracy. He is averaging less than 1 takedown per fight in his UFC career. He has not attempted a takedown in his last 3 fights, if I'm not mistaken. Magomed Ankalaev is not a wrestler. Stop breaking him down like he's this pressure-forward Khamzat Chimaev-esque wrestler. He's not. Magomed Ankalaev is going to go out there and he's going to strike with Pereira. Same way Imavov was striking with Izzy. Very comparable there. Imavov has grappling in the back pocket, but it's never his go-to. Ankalaev has grappling in his back pocket, but he never goes to it. I think Magomed Ankalaev is going to have a lot of success against Pereira in the striking. His southpaw stance is going to negate the calf kick. Alex Pereira throws that front leg inside low kick. That's not going to be there when Magomed's standing with his opposite stance. Magomed has good shots down the center. Khalil Roundtree also had good shots down the center. And look what he was doing to Pereira. Magomed Ankalaev is going to be able to slow this fight down the same way that Khalil Roundtree was. Now, I also noticed something when I was watching tape. Alex Pereira does not win the first round of his fights generally. I've known this for a while. Alex Pereira is not a minute winner. Alex Pereira isn't going out there and winning these rounds. I'd be willing to bet, if you're not counting finishes, Alex Pereira has lost more rounds in the UFC than he's won. I don't think it's close. Now, I know that's a very cherry-picked stat against a guy that is known for knockouts. I understand that, okay? Let me just break it down for you, though. His debut, Michaelitis. Michaelitis won the first round. Bruno Silva. This is one where Alex Pereira did win the first round. Sean Strickland obviously got the knockout. Israel Adesanya. Izzy won the first round. Izzy in the rematch. Izzy won the first round. Jan Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz won the first round. Yuri Prohashka. Yuri Prohashka won the first round. Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill was outstriking Alex Pereira before that little nut tap incident. Yuri in the rematch, obviously we know how that went. Okay, we don't need to talk about that. That was a bad fight for me. Khalil Roundtree got destroyed in the first round. He didn't have anything. I think the best possible bet for this fight is for Magomed Ankalaev to win the first round on the scorecards. There are many sites where you can bet this. It's generally the same as the fighter's money line. I don't think there's a world where Magomed Ankalaev is going to lose the first round unless he gets knocked out. The way I'm going to play this is I'm going to bet a fortune on Magomed Ankalaev to win the first round on the scorecards. I'm then going to find Alex Pereira round 1 knockout. Alex Pereira round 1 knockout sits at plus 365. Assuming it's a pick'em price for Magomed Ankalaev to win the first round. Say I wanted to put down $300 on that prop. Now $300, for the sake of easy argument, we'll say it's plus 100. If I put down $300, I'm going to win $300, obviously. Then if I place $100 on Alex Pereira first round knockout, if that bet wins, I win $365. Regardless of which outcome happens, I'm profiting money. If Alex Pereira wins, I'm only making $65. If Magomed Ankalaev wins, I'm making quite a bit more. You can do the math. There's calculators online to where you can effectively arbitrage that to equal out so that no matter what happens, you're guaranteed the same amount. I'm of a firm belief that Magomed Ankalaev is just going to win the first round straight up. I don't think Alex Pereira is really going to knock him out in the first round. I don't think that's something we have to worry about. But if you'd like to be safe, of course you can worry about that, and you can bet that on the hedge. That's my best bet for the fight. As for how I think the fight goes after the first round, I think Magomed Ankalaev is going to technically outbox Alex Pereira. He's going to shuffle away from the power. He's going to keep on moving to his left. If you circle into Alex Pereira's left hand, you're going to get hit. Magomed Ankalaev, he's good at running. He spent the entire fight against Rakic running. I don't think he's going to be getting, like, Jan Blachowicz was just telegraphing the shit out of his leg kicks, but we all know Jan. Jan is more than happy to go shin to shin, Polish power. He's going to kick your legs no matter what. You can check his leg kicks, it does not matter. He's going to kick them still. Alex Pereira doesn't do that. Yes, he has nasty leg kicks. Yes, he was hitting Yuri with some nasty leg kicks. Magomed Ankalaev is not going to be there for them. I think that Magomed Ankalaev is going to be up probably 2-0, maybe even 3-0 on the cards. I think he's going to be winning comfortably against Pereira. And he's going to have minor rustling. I think maybe he'll have one takedown by this point, and it's going to be like the end of round 2. The end of round 1 maybe. Just to secure the round. Close striking round, he gets a takedown to secure it. Alex Pereira jumps his stupid guillotine, the round ends. Magomed Ankalaev's on top. Yes, he's in a guillotine, but he still got the takedown. Then I think round 3/4 is going to come around. Magomed Ankalaev, you're up 3-0. You're beating Pereira easily. Just chill out. Don't get knocked out. You're good. He's going to get too comfortable in the striking. He's going to step too close. He's going to get hit with the left hook. He's going to get wobbled. Pereira senses blood in the water. He's going to take him to the cage. He's going to throw some hooks to the body. Uppercuts in the clinch. He's going to tie him up. Hooks on the cage. And Magomed Ankalaev is going to get TKO'd on the cage. I think it's going to be a standing TKO. Very similar to how Izzy TKO'd. Very similar to how Pereira TKO'd Izzy back in the day. I think it's going to look identical to that. I think Ankalaev is just going to be leaning back against the cage, kind of the same way Khalil Roundtree was. A very common Pereira finishing position. Overwhelm them on the cage, swarm the body, uppercuts, and then he's just going to swing hooks. I think Magomed Ankalaev is his own worst enemy. He's going to lose this fight by not being aggressive, not chasing the finish. He's going to get too complacent on the feet, and he's going to get caught. Every fighter that has tried to strike with Alex Pereira for the entire duration of a fight has gotten knocked out. Now, obviously, Bruno Silva's a little bit of an anomaly. Jan Blachowicz was wrestling heavily. Bruno Silva, I don't know what that guy's shin was made of because GM3 dropped him like the next fight. Everyone seems to fall victim to Alex's left hook, and I don't think Magomed Ankalaev is any different. I said it once, I'll say it again. He's going to get too complacent after winning the striking. He's going to technically outpoint Alex Pereira, like a lot of fighters have, and then he's going to get caught. Give me Alex Pereira, round 3/round 4 knockout. And that's the call. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you join the Discord, top link in the description. We're doing stuff daily in there. We're doing way more than UFC. We're doing hockey, crushing hockey recently. We had a great day on the NBA today. We're doing a little bit of everything. Hop in there. We're doing free plays, paid play, everything you can imagine. Getting some insane line movement. And drop your lock in the comments below. Let me know who your lock of the card is. Tell me if you think my picks are good, you think my picks are shit, whatever it may be. I'm here for it. Let's talk about it down in the comments. And we'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Peace out.